these late night shows are what he called like a blockbuster kiosk inside a tower record. So the business is broken. And what no one seems to acknowledge is that the politics also changed. The business changed and so did the politics. And it got way more one-sided than anything Johnny Carson was ever doing.
But I think many people feel there's another way to do it. You know, it's a very difficult position to be in, but to disagree with something that company's doing, but also still loving your job and loving what you do. I really feel for Stephen Colbert.
You feel for Stephen Colbert? You feel bad for Stevie? For starters, King Gale, which, by the way, it is nice to see that you're still on television. I know most people don't see you since no one is watching this morning turd that's produced by CBS, but I am glad Gayle Queen maintained her job at CBS, where she can't draw flies to a fresh turd, after she was fired by CNN for her inability to draw flies to a fresh turd. But anyway, Gayle King, no one gives a shit about your feelings. Oh, I feel so bad for Stevie. He only has 10 months to find a new job. That has got to be tough, tough, tough. Normally, I don't like to see anyone lose their jobs, but in this case, I have zero sympathy. I don't feel bad for Steph Colbert, mainly because he is the reason for his own demise. Let me show you the asshole that Gayle King feels sorry for. This was Stevie Colbert Monday night. Watch for yourself.
Donald Trump posted, "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings."
How dare you, sir? Would an untalented man be able to compose the following satirical witticism? Go yourself.
Oh, Stevie! Oh, you're too funny! Oh! Have you guys ever heard the wisdom, your mouth writes checks that your ass can't cash? Stevie might be finding out the hard way real soon. You know, it amazes me how incredibly stupid people can be. I was talking to someone about this the other day. There are a lot of problems in life that can be prevented by keeping your mouth shut. For some reason, this seems to be difficult for some people to understand. The mafia operated with impunity for decades. The federal government, they couldn't figure out how to infiltrate the mob. Why? Because no one was talking. Eventually, Rudy Giuliani, he figured out how to effectively use RICO. He started threatening mid-level mobsters with life without parole. All of a sudden, there is a choir of canaries in New York City. And within the span of about 5, maybe 10 years, Rudy Giuliani completely dismantled the mafia. Even though I talk for a living, I'm not a really big talker in real life, especially with people I don't know or trust. Last month, the reason that we were in Nashville is because we were renovating the inside of the house and we couldn't live in the house while it was being renovated. We get back home. My wife, she immediately goes to the store to buy cleaning supplies. She cannot stand a dirty house, which is one of the many things that I love about her. I'm trying to get to my studio, but the contractor, he wants to talk. "How did I do? Do you like my work? It feels like you don't really care." Yeah, that's because I don't. The house looks great, did a great job, but we won't be living here much longer to enjoy it. So I'm not exactly thrilled that I just spent $10,000 on a renovation for someone else. That was the extent of our conversation. That was it. 24 hours later, same contractor was quoting a job for my wife's sister. He tells my sister-in-law that I don't really want to sell the house, and the only reason I'm selling the house is to make my wife happy. If you're married You know exactly what happened next. She texts my wife frantically texts me. How could you lie to me? You don't really want to move. I said, this is a prime example of why I'm careful who I talk to. Think about this. I don't share personal information about our marriage with people in our family. So why in the hell would I tell some doofus contractor whose name I don't even know, why would I tell him, of all people, that I don't want to move? Fortunately, my wife knows me very well and the situation was easily resolved. But the point is, a closed mouth can prevent problems and an uncontrolled yapper can create unnecessary problems. And in the case of Stevie Colbert, his uncontrolled yapper could get him yanked off the air 10 months early. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. So go ahead and get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Sugar Mountain Trading. Are you struggling with back problems? Do you deal with minor aches, minor pains throughout your day, and you don't want to go to the doctor because all the doctor's going to do is find something else wrong with you? Even worse, prescribe addictive medication that you just don't want to take? I hate going to the doctor. So does my wife, who actually deals with back pain. That's why she has started using CBD lotions and oils from Sugar Mountain Trading. Now, this is not THC. It's not going to make you fail a drug test. These CBD lotions and oils, they are specifically designed for rapid pain relief. Like I said, my wife deals with nagging back pain from time to time. Tried over-the-counter stuff, chiropractor, but none of that ever seemed to work. Within 5 minutes of me applying CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain Trading, her pain was gone. I'm telling you, it's damn near magical. My wife keeps a bottle in her purse at all times. Sugar Mountain Trading also offers CBD bar soap that will keep you pain-free and smelling fresh at the same time. Bar soap comes in a variety of scents ranging from lavender all the way to cherry almond. More importantly, all CBD products offered at Sugar Mountain Trading 100% natural, 100% free of THC. So click the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL20. Save 20% off your first purchase with Sugar Mountain Trading. Last night, Kevin O'Leary was on CNN where he was trying to explain to the indoctrinated why their beloved Stevie Colbert was fired. With this being CNN, it's not surprising that most of their woke welfare collectors are blaming Orange Man bad. Kevin O'Leary was trying to explain logic to them, which obviously they were unable to comprehend. For those that don't know, Kevin O'Leary is one of the sharks on Shark Tank. Another fun fact about Kev, he's got something in common with Joy Reid: natural baldness. Of course, Kevin O'Leary's baldness is due to his advanced age, while Joy Reid's baldness is due to her inability to afford new weaves after being fired by MSNBC. Last night, Kevin O'Leary, he was on Abby Phillips' Primetime Dump. He was there to replace the American hero Scott Jennings. I am a real American. The American hero had the night off last night. CNN, they are now requiring one logical thinker to be on the show surrounded by indoctrinated buffoons. So they chose Kevin O'Leary. The indoctrinated, they were complaining about CBS firing Stevie. They were blaming the Trumper. They were spreading ridiculous conspiracy theories about some doofus corporate merger. Thankfully, Kevin O'Leary stepped in and provided the real reason that Stevie was fired. It's the same reason Uncle KC has provided. He was losing CBS millions of dollars. You don't lose $40 million and get to keep your job. But then, Kevin O'Leary made an interesting prediction. A few minutes ago, I shared the clip of Stevie making another failed attempt at comedy when he told the Trumper to fuck off. I'm sure his comedy writers, blue-haired Cher and Lou with boobs, I'm sure they worked all night coming up with that instant classic. But according to Kevin O'Leary, that failed attempt at comedy, it could be enough to get Stephen Colbert yanked off the air. And he's not talking about next May when this misery is officially scheduled to end. According to Kevin O'Leary, Stevie could be removed from television immediately. Watch for yourself.
$46.2 million in losses on a franchise that's 40 years old. It's old, it's dead, and unfortunately for all of the category, people are geometrically not watching late night TV anymore. Here's the problem for Colbert. His contract is a payout contract through a transaction where there's a change of control. Only a moron would tell the president to F off before he gets his check, okay? So what's going to happen now, in my opinion, is tomorrow, CBS, his boss, will fire him, and they will litigate for the next 5 years his payout.
Fire who? Stephen Colbert?
So now you're saying, this guy.
Whether or not this happens, I don't know. Kevin O'Leary knows a hell of a lot more about contracts than I do. Anytime I'm presented with a contract, I send it directly to my lawyer. That is the extent of my knowledge when it comes to contracts. I receive it and I forward it to someone who can comprehend it. So I don't know what Kevin O'Leary means when he says Stephen Colbert's contract is a payout contract through a transaction. The only part I understood was he is predicting that Stevie will be taken off television today. As of 4:30 this afternoon, that hasn't happened. But just because it hasn't happened, that doesn't mean it won't happen. I think Kevin O'Leary is onto something here. For starters, it doesn't make sense that CBS is firing Stephen Colbert but keeping him on the air for the next 10 months. I know his contract runs through next year, so they got to pay him regardless, but you could save tens of millions of dollars by just canceling the show now. Maybe they want to give The Late Show a proper send-off. Maybe they want the next 10 months to be special, but how special can it be if no one is watching? Maybe Kevin O'Leary is onto something here. I hadn't thought of this before, but it is entirely possible that Stevie does not make it through the next 10 months. Perhaps CBS is waiting for the backlash to subside. Maybe they're waiting for the emotions to settle, and then they'll pull him off the air. I don't know. You tell me. Kevin O'Leary predicted that Colbert would be removed today because of what he said about the Trumper. That hasn't happened yet. But just because it hasn't happened today doesn't mean it won't happen. So you tell me, will Stevie make it through the next 10 months? Will The Late Show make it to May of 2026? Or will CBS end it prematurely? Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.